Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning into our channel. Today we will be reviewing Reggae Spice Jamaican Curry Jerk Seasoning and their Booyah Jamaican Seasoning. And what better way to review than to prepare a meal? But before we get into that, guys, if you could please hit the subscribe button and give us a huge thumbs up, we'd truly appreciate it. And thanks again for watching. Okay guys, before we get into the actual meal, I just wanted to show you guys how I prepare my meat. When I make the curry chicken, I like to cut the chicken into pieces and expose the bone. And then I come in and I rinse the meat really well, let it sit in some water just for a moment to let some of the fat and the extra whatever come to the surface so that I can just rinse that off. So actually, when I clean my meat, it's sort of like a two-part process. I start with the water, let the meat soak in the water to bring the impurities up and fat and all those things up so that I can just rinse it right off. And then I come in with vinegar after that, after I drain the water, and then I put the vinegar on the meat and I let it sit on there for maybe about 10 minutes. And I do that just so that I can just kill off any bad bacteria that could possibly be on the meat. And then after the 10 minutes, I'll come back and I'll rinse the meat, and then that's when I actually start seasoning the meat and getting ready, prepping it for to cook. Now on to the fun part, and this is the actual seasoning. You use thyme, Booyah seasoning tropical, Goya adobo, and of course the Booyah Jamaican seasoning, Jamaican curry jerk, the Reggae Spice, and this is my Sofrito. This is the Sofrito I make. It's like a green seasoning. Okay, let's get to seasoning. Starting off with the Goya adobo, come in with that, just to kind of add some layers of seasoning onto the meat. Let's see, now Booyah Tropical Saison. This is going to be pretty good. And then, yes, the Booyah Jamaican seasoning. It's got all kind of nice spices in it, and it just, I've had it on some of my other meat, like when I fry chicken, I use that, and it just takes the meat to the next level. The seasoning on it is just, it's incredible. And then of course I take 2 spoonfuls of Sofrito, the green seasoning. I put that in everything as well. That's like a base for me that I put in my meat and my rice dishes and stuff. And so anyways, I'm gonna sort of massage the seasoning all together into the meat. And then, of course, here's the jerk seasoning. This is going to be actually the dominant seasoning, the dominant flavor in the dish, of course. And I'll take probably about two spoonfuls of that and put that on the chicken as well. It's kind of I do it sort of like a double dose of the curry. I start and I season the meat actually with the curry, which is what I'm doing right now. And then when I'm actually cooking it, I'll use it as a base in the pot that I'm using. And I'll be showing that to you guys here in a few minutes as well. With my curry, also with the curry, I like to add thyme as well. And it gives it a real nice earthy flavor to the dish as well. It makes it, gives it a really nice flavor as well. I like to use a lot of herbs and natural seasonings as well, and a lot of times those natural seasonings will just, it'll add really some really good layers of flavor to your dish. And if you've got picky kids that don't want to eat veggies, if they see onions in their meat, then they don't want to eat it, this is a good way of doing it. So anyways, here is the thyme, and here's the meat all mixed up and seasoned, and at this point I usually put it in the fridge to marinate overnight. Okay, let's get going. We're gonna hot the pot right here, heat it up, and get the oil going, get the oil hot. And like I said earlier with the curry, I put that as a base in the pot before I actually add my meat, my already seasoned curry meat. I'll add some more curry to the pot. So I start with the oil, and then I'll come in with another 2 teaspoons or 2 spoonfuls of curry seasoning to the pot, which is what I'm doing now. Kind of get that going in there, let those flavors marinate, because curry is actually like a combination of seasonings put together. And so here I am adding my meat. Yes. And then what I'll do is once I add all of the meat, then I'll like coat the meat again with the curry that's already inside of the pot. I'll just kind of coat it, get it going in there. Okay, so this is just me coating the meat with the curry right here, with the thyme and all the good seasonings together. So once I put the lid back on, and I usually let it cook for just a few minutes on medium heat or high heat, just to let the juices from the chicken come out. And because that's what'll happen, the chicken will produce its own juices. And so anyways, at this point, what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of stirring again and kind of coat it up, make sure everything's nice and coated with the curry. Okay, and so at this point, I add the water, and the water is for the chicken to cook in, and for the seasonings to just kind of mingle together. But mainly, I put it in there so that the chicken can cook more, and also when I am ready to, a couple minutes before I'm ready for the dish to be finished, I'll add my veggies in there, like my carrots and my potatoes. So at this point, I'll just go ahead and let the carrots and the potatoes cook for a little bit. And oh yes, and I almost forgot to add the coconut milk. Now with curry, chicken and different curries, you can either opt to have the coconut milk, or you can just not have it. But I really like it. I like to have the coconut milk because it kind of, if the curry is really pungent, it can mellow it out a little bit, or it can just give it a really nice creamy coconut flavor, another added layer of flavor to the dish. So yeah, I really enjoy to have the coconut milk in mine. Yeah, this is gonna be good. I'm just watching this, and this is just enjoyable. It's been a while since I've made curry anything actually, curry chicken or curry goat. I have to tell you guys that this actually, this curry was fire, because it wasn't too pungent, it wasn't strong. I've had other curries in the past, and they've been pretty strong. And this was really creamy, very just perfect. I didn't need to add anything extra to it. Okay guys, now on to the sofrito. I got my little helper here helping me. She is mashing up the garlic and getting that going for me. So in the sofrito is the natural seasonings. It's sweet peppers, onions or shallots, garlic. You can add cilantro, thyme, shadow benny, or recao. It's just natural good seasonings that you can put in your meat. And if you've got picky eaters like Karen, then you can actually kind of disguise this. You know, you don't have to have your dishes with chunks of onion or pepper or anything like that in it. You can actually use the sofrito, the natural seasoning, to actually cook the meat in. So then you'll still have the veggies in the meat. So I love the green seasoning. I love the sofrito. It works like a charm. It takes the meat and everything to the next level. Okay, so here's Karen adding water to her mixture. She loves to help me with with cooking, and especially with sofrito. It's pretty basic and easy for children. So she added water and she added some olive oil, and now she's mixing it up like a good little girl. She just loves to help me with the blender. Okay, and so it looks like it was a little thin, so we opted to add a little bit more shadow benny and cilantro to it just to thicken it up a little bit. Okay, so guys, so let's just talk about the seasonings real quickly. The Booyah seasoning, like I said, I use it in my other dishes as well, and I really enjoy it. It just, for the most part, I've always used the regular, what you see at the store type of seasonings, all-purpose seasoning, and it doesn't have nearly the flavor that this Jamaican seasoning, the Booyah seasoning. This has more of a Caribbean taste, delicious, more earthy, natural seasoning to it, and so it's just really enjoyable, and it reminds me of the times that I've been in Jamaica and to different parts of the Caribbean, and I love it. It definitely takes my meat dishes up to the next level. I just really enjoy it, and so I'm definitely not disappointed in it. I'm telling you, it gets 5 stars and a thumb up from me. And as far as the curry jerk, I've never had a wet marinade before, and this is the first time, and it's great. I love it because it's just so much more simpler. With the powder, you kind of have to measure it out. You kind of got to, get a feel for it. But with this, all you have to do is put a couple spoonfuls in, and it just massage it into the meat, and it's ready to go. So I definitely recommend that. And I will leave a link in the description where you can purchase these seasonings if you're interested. And I highly recommend it because you guys will love it. It's just great stuff. Anyways, also too, this curry chicken that I made was inspired by a good friend of mine named Kunchi. He is here on YouTube, and he's also on Instagram, and he prepares great Jamaican meals, American meals. He's just a good cook, and I appreciate all his videos, and I would recommend that you follow him. And I'll leave a description to where you can check out his meals. He uses the Reggae Spice as well, and so that will be a good place to go to get insight on the seasonings and how he uses them and whatnot. So anyways, I'll leave a link in the description for the seasonings and for where you can watch his videos and follow him on Instagram. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and give us a huge thumbs up. Thank you so much. We really appreciate all your views. So take care and God bless. Bye-bye.